When you think of Stephen King, you think of terrifying clowns, haunted hotels, and shadowy monsters lurking in the dark. But what about the man behind the stories? How did a janitor from a struggling family become one of the greatest storytellers of all time? This is the story of Stephen King, his struggles, his triumphs, and the unyielding spirit that made him a literary legend. Stephen Edwin King was born on September 21, 1947, in Portland, Maine. His childhood wasn't easy. His father abandoned the family when Stephen was just 2, leaving his mother, Nellie, to raise him and his brother alone. Nellie worked multiple jobs to make ends meet, and the King family often lived in small, cramped homes. Young Stephen sought solace in books, comics, and movies, especially horror. From Frankenstein to Dracula, the macabre became his escape.
I loved monsters. I loved what they represented, the idea that anything could happen, even the unimaginable.
Stephen's passion for storytelling grew. By the time he was in high school, he was already writing short stories and submitting them to magazines. Most of them were rejected, but Stephen kept writing. In college at the University of Maine, he found 2 things that changed his life: his wife, Tabitha, and a job cleaning dormitories. Tabitha became his anchor. She believed in him when no one else did. But their early married life was a struggle. Stephen worked multiple jobs, including as a janitor and a high school English teacher, to support his family. Writing wasn't just a passion, it was his hope for a better life. In 1973, while working as a janitor, Stephen started writing a story about a shy, bullied girl with telekinetic powers. But after 3 pages, he got frustrated and threw it away. Tabitha pulled the pages from the trash and read them.
Keep going. This is good.
Stephen finished the manuscript for Carrie and sent it to Doubleday Publishing. Months later, the call came. His book was accepted. The advance, a life-changing $2,500. Soon after, Signet bought the paperback rights for $400,000. Overnight, the janitor became an author. From there, Stephen King became unstoppable. He churned out one bestseller after another, each more terrifying and captivating than the last. In King's world, monsters aren't always supernatural. Sometimes the true horror is within us. The abusive husband in Rose Madder, the obsessive fan in Misery, the human cruelty in The Green Mile. Good horror stories aren't about the monsters. They're about people, how they react, what they fear, and what they're capable of when pushed to the edge. But success didn't come without its demons. In the 1980s, Stephen battled alcoholism and drug addiction. He later admitted that he barely remembers writing some of his books during that period. But with Tabitha's help, he fought his way back to sobriety. Then, in 1999, tragedy struck. Stephen was hit by a van while walking near his home. The accident left him with severe injuries and months of recovery. Many feared he'd never write again. But Stephen King doesn't know how to quit. Just months after the accident, he was back at his desk, writing the stories that only he could tell. Today, Stephen King is more than a writer, he is a cultural phenomenon. With over 60 novels, 200 short stories, and countless film adaptations, his influence is unmatched. But beyond the fame and fortune, he remains a humble storyteller. He writes every day, not because he has to, but because he loves to. His stories remind us that fear is universal, and courage is what defines us. From a janitor scrubbing floors to the master of horror, Stephen King's journey proves that no matter where you start, your dreams are within reach.
You can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will. That's not just advice, it's a promise. Stephen King lived it, and so can you.
So, what's your story? Let Stephen King's journey inspire you to chase your dreams. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories that will move and inspire you.